Howdy everyone, my name's Calling Me Crazy and welcome back to the channel. Just a friendly reminder, I do have an inbox at askmecrazyquestions at gmail.com. It's up on the screen if you want to send me a question or any advice you'd like me to make a separate video on, and I'll do so. Today we are going to kind of take a backseat from the serious topics for once, and I want you guys to imagine when was the last time that you and the boys or girls got together at like a sleepover and you guys got a bunch of snacks, a bunch of drinks, and you played split screen on a CRTV on like the Wii or like the GameCube or something. It's probably been a really long time, and it's been an effort of mine throughout the last few years to try to recapture some of that old time feeling, old school gaming feeling, where you got split screen, and you socialize through split screen with the terrible aspect ratios, and I can't see like half my stuff on my screen, or you're playing like a competitive game between each other, and you're trying to like cheat off of each other's screen. It's been a while since like that's really been like the social norm, and I think it's kind of going away pretty heavily, especially the last like 5 years or so. And this topic kind of came up of a random comment that Amari X Games, if you don't know about him, had in one of his videos. He talked about split screen gaming, just like very briefly, in like a different type of title or topic of his video, and that got me, on the idea of making this video. So I appreciate you, Amari. Go check him out if you haven't already. That dude's fucking awesome. He's a sick guy. Makes great content. But yeah, with split screen gaming, I mean, like back in the day, dude, oh my god, you'd make like a pillow fort around like the TV, and you would get like a piece of cardboard or something to put in between where the split screen like splits down the middle, and so you can't like cheat off of each other, and you're basically making like two separate screens. And those were like the times, man. And that type of like socializing with gaming really doesn't exist much anymore, especially for adults. Adults like me, for instance, I'm 24. Um, a lot of my friends physically are not close by. I mean, like the closest friend I have is in town, but it's a little more fun when you have like a bigger group, in my opinion, when you have like 4 or 5 guys together, all gaming with each other. But a lot of my friends are, hours away in another state or maybe even across the country, and I can't go see them, that often. Maybe every few months or so, but not super often. So that kind of like bringing together, like socializing, doesn't really happen as much. And because of like the way the landscape has changed with online gaming, it makes it a lot easier to just stay at home and play on your screen and they play on their screen and you just connect online. And don't get me wrong, it's a great advantage. I do enjoy like having my own, screen to use. I like having the amount of space I could see the game I'm playing on. There is that kind of drawback with split screen gaming, but it created almost like a different beast of a gamer within me, at least when it comes to like doing like competitive stuff with friends, because you would only have so much of your screen to use, and then for some reason, like whenever you go back home after that sleepover or that night, dude, you play like so much better, just because you had such limited access to things on the screen before. It made a huge difference. I feel like that was a big jump in just becoming like a competitive gamer, and I like to be competitive. I like to have fun with that, and I feel like the only games nowadays that integrate something like split screen is really just like Mario Kart. That's like the only example I could really think of. Um, I've tried a few times this last like year and a half or so to bring my PS4 and hang out with the friends that were here physically that I could, before they graduated and left. We would hang out every like other week or so. I'd bring my PS4 over, and we would try to play usually like Call of Duty, do some like custom game matches, like like Sticks and Stones, gun game, any sort of those. And most of the CODs that I had for the PS4, I couldn't really do that on, especially like COD World War II. For some reason, you need like another PlayStation account that has PSN to log into to be able to do split screen on that game. But we only got it to work really on like Modern Warfare 2019, and I think maybe Black Ops 3, but I don't think we played Black Ops 3. We played Black Ops 3 Zombies. We didn't play multiplayer. which was I've just played the crap out of Black Ops 3 Zombies, and it's I mean it's a great game. Don't get me wrong, but I would like to play some other stuff. Um, but I feel like games nowadays, even like this game right here, X Defiant, wasn't really built to be playable in a physical aspect. It's a very online game. There's no custom games, which kind of sucked. I wish they had that. But yeah, there's no split screen. There's nothing of that type. And I feel like games nowadays they just don't include that stuff. They don't think about that sort of social aspect. So when people like me, for instance, a little older, that used to experience split screen gaming like that, I would try to do that with newer games, because sometimes you can't really just play older games like that. I can't just bring my Wii over because I have an AV cable. I don't have the HDMI like adapter, which I know I probably should get the HDMI adapter. I like the AV cable sometimes. I like shitty quality here and there. It's nostalgic for me, but I understand that not everything can be played on like every single TV, and so I try my best to use what I have, and just even when split screen is like an available thing, like I said with COD World War II, it just doesn't work. Like you have to have so many other things happen and spend a little bit of money for it to work, which is kind of stupid. I feel like it should just be by default. There should be a way to do like split screen stuff. And even with those games that like support split screen, I find it problematic because if it's like horizontal or vertical, sometimes it just doesn't work and like you can't see anything. So like for instance, I tried to play split screen Minecraft with one of my friends about a year ago or so, and we tried for like 2 hours to do both horizontal and vertical, and it just really didn't work out super well. Like when it was vertical, it was really hard to tell like what's next to me or whatnot, and I'd get blown up by a creeper or something. And then when it was horizontal, it would be such a pain to try to go and mine in like caves and stuff, because you'd have to look up like really far to see where you're going. It's just a little disorienting without having the full screen, and that's kind of like a drawback and maybe a disadvantage I would say with split screens. But I feel like other games that are optimized for it, like mostly racing games, like I remember playing Need for Speed Most Wanted, which is like my favorite racing game. That game is really good on split screen. And it's like built for that. Same with Mario Kart. Like you can see the screen pretty well with that. Maybe even I would say Mario Party, but it's like all the same screen. You don't really split into different halves usually, unless you're playing like the little. I guess when you're playing the little party games, it does split into like 4 or 3 or whatever, however many people are playing. But like those games are meant. I miss games that are meant to have that. Not a lot of games do that anymore, especially like online shooters now. They just don't have that support, and I don't know. I kind of miss it. I'm curious to hear what you guys think. If you miss that social aspect of split screen gaming, or you really do just enjoy online gaming nowadays because it's so easy to access and it doesn't require you to like physically go somewhere, and spend a lot of money, maybe like snacks or something, if you're really that conscious about being frugal in your life, and also like the time that you don't have as well. It's a lot easier to just hop on online and then boom, play a game for an hour and then leave. It makes sense, but I kind of miss it, and I'm curious to hear from you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!